Tonight, let's write new verses on each other's skin. Not with ink or feathered pen, but with lips, with breath, with the aching hum of need laced between kisses. Let our fingertips become the finest quills, and the curves of our bodies the parchment, where each touch burns new syntax into flesh. This isn't just about lust, it's about language, the kind no one teaches but that lives buried in the marrow, waiting for the right voice to draw it out. I want to press a stanza against the hollow of your throat. Let it spill into a moan that vibrates into my chest. I want to explore every inch of you like a page half read, trembling with anticipation for what the next line holds. Tonight, our dictionary is instinct. Our grammar is pulse and gasp. We'll revise with fingers, edit with teeth. I'll trace syllables down your spine, and when you arch into me, that's the period that completes the sentence. This poem is alive, breathing through the heat of our bodies. Let's write it slowly, deeply, thoroughly. No rush, no end. Just rhythm and reverence. Each line begins with a kiss, deliberate and warm, as if every contact is a form of punctuation. Commas where I linger, dashes where I wander, and ellipses in the spaces between your sighs. I am not just touching you, I am crafting a sonnet with my hands, a free verse with my tongue. I want to know your metaphors, to unwrap your hidden meanings with each glide of palm against hip. You are poetry, and I am desperate to annotate every inch. Let the rhyme scheme be our breathing, in and out, faster, deeper, until we're tangled in the chorus of one another. The rhythm builds not in haste, but in resonance, your heartbeat syncing with mine, as if we're reciting a chant older than language itself. We aren't just bodies tonight, we are verses seeking expression. I want your flesh to remember every couplet I leave behind. So when morning comes, your skin bears my words like constellations, stars of our own creation, burning with shared heat, glowing long after the night fades. Our poem will not be forgotten, it will be lived. Let's scrawl passion between your shoulders, down your spine, across your hips like a chorus that repeats each time I make you tremble. This isn't just about touching, it's about storytelling. I want every gasp to be a turning page, every moan a revelation. I want your hands in my hair like quotation marks, framing the words I murmur against your collarbone. When you shift beneath me, that's enjambment, one thought spilling over into the next, with no need to pause. We'll write not just in physicality, but in emotional ink, leaving bruises shaped like exclamations, sighs shaped like questions. Tell me what your body's trying to say, and I'll listen with mouth and hand and heartbeat. I want to write verses that linger, not only on your skin but in your thoughts, verses that replay when you're alone, fingers tracing where mine once were. You'll know each phrase by feel, every rhythm by memory, and when you whisper my name in the dark, it will be a line of poetry you didn't realize you had memorized. I want to learn the language of your longing. Teach me with your breath, with your twitch, with that half moan that catches at the base of your throat when I find the right place to press my tongue. This is a poem that doesn't need silence. It feeds on sound. The sharp inhale, the choked laugh, the exhale heavy with surrender. I want to write until you're fluent in me, until every nerve sings the verses we wrote together. And I will let you write too. Etch your phrases into my ribs, your declarations across my thighs. Let your nails drag metaphors into my back, each scratch a cry of ownership and craving. Let the slick slide of sweat be the ink that binds us. We'll compose each other like sacred texts, transcribing secrets no one else will ever read. These verses are not written for paper. They're written in shutters, in tightened fists, in legs wrapped tight as similes. Tonight we are authors and poems both. And as our bodies burn and twist, we'll write chapters that need no titles, only touch. Let's not hold back. Let's fill every stanza with wildness, with the raw cadence of bodies crashing like waves against the edge of sanity. Let your voice rise into a chorus of need, and I'll harmonize with lips pressed to the curve of your neck. We'll blur structure, break line breaks with teeth and rhythm, recompose with sweat and ache. This is the most honest verse we've ever created. No pretense or polish, just the truth of want and the gospel of now. I will spell my devotion in sighs along your spine, punctuate desire with the arc of your hips. There's no meter but our motion, no rhyme but your name falling from my lips. I want the taste of your poetry, warm and urgent, to linger in my mouth until I'm drunk on the flavor of you. Let's write without rules, without fear, knowing the only audience we need is the flame flickering between us. Tonight this bed is our parchment, our mouths the quills, our pleasure the ink. Let's cover each other with scripture only the night can read. There are verses that hide in the shadows of your collarbone, stanzas curled behind your knees, and I want to find them all. Let my tongue unravel the metaphors clinging to your skin, peeling them back one by one until your meaning is naked and gasping beneath me. This isn't about performance, it's about truth. The kind of truth only bare bodies and bared souls can tell. Let your whimpers become enjambment that spills over me in waves, and I'll catch each one like a sacred syllable. We won't stop until the poem trembles with climax, until your thighs squeeze around the final word. Let's leave no line unwritten, no verse unexplored. Your skin is a galaxy of ideas I want to explore until stars burn behind your eyes. Let me map constellations with my fingers. Let me chart your pleasure with my lips. We won't need to say I love you.
It will be there in the rhythm of our hips, the contraction of breath, the tremble in your cry. That's the only truth that matters tonight. That's our poem breathing. I'll memorize you the way poets memorize longing. Each detail a heartbeat, each taste a lyric. Your breath becomes my refrain, your gasp the line I repeat again and again, because it never loses its beauty. There's a rhythm to the way you arch, to the tension that coils in your stomach before you break. I follow it like a melody, fine-tuning my body to your frequency. Tonight I'm not just writing, I'm worshipping. Each verse is a tribute to the way you make me feel, to the way you look at me like I am not just a man but a poem you've waited your whole life to read. And when you finally call out, when the heat surges and we dissolve into one chaotic line after another, that's the climax of our shared verse. No punctuation, no end, just a lingering sense of more. Even in the quiet afterward, when all that remains is the heat of skin on skin, I know we'll keep writing. In the curve of your smile, the stroke of your hand, the sleep-heavy sigh, you're still composing me. When dawn creeps into the room, soft and golden, we won't have to speak. The verses are already there, etched into our sweat-damp skin, curling behind our ears, pulsing in our veins. You'll feel the words where my mouth pressed its truths along your neck. I'll taste the poetry you left between my shoulder blades. We'll carry the verses into our day, like sacred graffiti. The poem won't end because it lives in us now, replaying in muscle memory, in flushed cheeks and secret smiles.
This night was a novel in itself, 8 chapters of sighs, rising action in gasps, a climax written in moans, and a resolution soaked in the warmth of aftermath. No critic could deconstruct this. No reader could truly understand. This was a poem written for no eyes but ours, a language invented between sheets and sweat and shared breath. And even though we will rise and dress and speak of mundane things, we will both know. We'll know we authored something sacred, and we'll ache to write it again. I've tried to forget the rhythm of your body, but it lives in the stubborn places, in the crook of my knee, the curve of my waist, the base of my spine. Those places remember the way you held me, moved with me, as if we were always meant to do so. They sing without consent, humming that rhythm when I lie still, when I walk alone, when my thoughts drift and your name bubbles up like a secret I no longer try to bury. My body isn't interested in moving on, it's waiting for your return, for your hands to pick up the beat again, and lead us into another verse. The ache is patient, but potent. It doesn't scream, it hums, low, steady, constant, like the echo of your heartbeat against my chest the first time you fell asleep wrapped in me. I would give anything to feel that rhythm again, to let you anchor me with your breath, and guide me with your hands. Until then the ache grows, becomes the song I can't stop singing. I want your name thick on my tongue, not spoken but drawn out in soundless strokes that trace themselves in heat. It hums behind my lips, waiting to burst, aching to be tasted again and again. I want to speak it against your throat, to see how it feels vibrating through skin and muscle. I want your breath to catch when I say it in the dark, slow and rough, like gravel made holy. I want to carve it in the air with my teeth, find your mouth and match the rhythm of your name with every movement. Let me finish the sentence with you. Let me say your name between gasps, between teeth and tongue, not as a word but as a song hummed against skin. I want to taste your name with reverence and wrath, with poetry and hunger. I want to say it like a sin, like a prayer, like something holy and unrepeatable. When I bite into the syllables, I want you to feel it down your spine, in your chest, in the part of you that knows this hunger too. I want to taste your name with closed eyes and open mouth, until we both forget language existed before this. Let me suck the meaning from your name until it's rewritten in moans. Let me feed on it like it's the only thing that ever mattered. I will never stop craving it, not even when I've memorized it in every possible way. It lives now in the cracks of me, in the molten center of my being. I want to taste your name between my teeth, until neither of us remembers. Bo said it first.